Hi there and thanks for joining us. Today we're going to guide you through how to complete and submit your Hazardous Occurrence Investigation Report, also referred as Lab 1070. Start by locating the worksheet. It can be found in the resource library of our website, or you can download it from ESDC's website. Employers in industries under federal jurisdiction use this form to report to labor about a workplace hazardous occurrence. In this video we'll walk you through each section of the report, so you can complete it accurately and confidently. According to ESDC, hazardous occurrences can include minor injury, an injury or disease that needs medical treatment but doesn't disable the worker. Disabling injury, an injury or disease that causes missed work or requires modified duties. This could be temporary like a sprain or permanent like the loss of a limb. Loss of consciousness. This could result from electric shock, chemical exposure, or oxygen deprivation. Rescue and emergency procedures. Situations that require emergency actions, such as dealing with a hazardous spill, bomb threat, or violence prevention. Motor vehicle accidents on public roads. Event involving company vehicle that resulted in damage, injury, or potential harm. For this tutorial, we'll walk through a disabling injury case. Let's get started. In Section 1, check off the type of occurrence. In this case, we'll select disabling injury. Moving to Section 2, leave this section blank. It is reserved for labor program use only. In Section 3, enter the name of the employer and mailing address. ABC Transport Limited, 123 Cherry Blossom Drive, Langley, British Columbia 1x52Y3. Telephone number, 604-111-2222. Site of hazardous occurrence. This incident happened at the warehouse, which is located at 123 Avocado Lane, Langley, British Columbia 1x13Z8. Date and time of hazardous occurrence. The incident occurred on March 31st at 10 a.m. As this incident occurred in the warehouse, weather section is not applicable. Next, write the names of any witnesses. Alex Smith and Jazz Singh and their supervisor's name, Julia Williams. In Section 4, describe what happened. Mike Jones began his regular shift at 7 a.m. At around 10 o'clock he went to retrieve tools from a cabinet near the lunchroom. When he opened the top drawer it slid out quickly, causing the cabinet to tip. As Mike reached out to catch it, the sharp edge of the drawer sliced both his bare hands. Brief, describe the property damage and estimated cost of repair. In addition to the worker's injuries, this occurrence damaged the tool cabinet, which has a cost of $5,000. In Section 5, write the name of the injured worker. Mike Jones. His age, which is 21 years old, gender, male, and his occupation, warehouse worker. Description of injury or illness. In this section, describe the injury. Mike suffered severe laceration on the inside palm of both hands. Years of experience. Mike is new to the warehousing industry and has been working for 1 year at this company. Direct cause of injury or illness. After the investigation, team has identified that the cabinet drawer sliced the hands of the worker. Was training in accident prevention given to the employee in relation to duties performed at the time of hazardous occurrence? Yes, as worker had received basic orientation training. Now in the Section 6, let's talk about the direct causes of hazardous occurrence. In this occurrence, the drawer lacked a stopping mechanism. It was overloaded with heavy items. The cabinet was not secured to the wall. The worker was not wearing gloves, which were required for the task. Next section, corrective measures that will be taken by the employer and their implementation date. Following the investigation, team has identified the following corrective actions which will be implemented immediately. Replace all cabinets without a drawer stopping mechanism. Secure all cabinets to the wall. Train workers on safe storage practices. Provide refresher training on personal protective equipment. If any corrective actions are not taken, the reasons should be listed here. Otherwise, leave it blank. You can also note any additional preventive measures. Fini. In Section 8, write the name of the investigator. Last name, Brown. First name, Henry, and his telephone number, 778-222-0000. Also job title, Health and Safety Coordinator, as well as his email, henry@abctransport.ca. Lastly, the investigator must date and sign this report. In Section 9, Mention any comments from Safety Committee or Health and Safety Representative such the Safety Committee recommends adding cabinet inspections to the monthly inspection checklist to prevent similar incidents. Next, write the information of the committee member. Last name, White. First name, Lily. Her telephone number, 60499988888. And job title, Warehouse Worker, Employee Co-Chair. As well as her email, lily@abctransport.ca. Ensure the Safety Committee member must date and sign the report. Once completed, send the copy to the officer, Safety Committee and employer. And remember, any incident involving disabling injury, loss of consciousness, rescue procedures or fire or explosion must be reported to the labor program within 14 days. And of course, if you have any questions at all or want someone to review the form with you, feel free to reach us at our email info@safetydriven.ca. You're now ready to submit your hazardous occurrence investigation report. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Stay informed with Safety Driven.